You've been through things that could have broken you. People have taken advantage of your kindness, tested your limits, and underestimated your strength because of your empathy. But what they never saw coming is that you're not just an empath, you're a Sigma empath. You don't just feel deeply, you process, adapt, and rise stronger than before. Your resilience isn't loud or showy. It's in the way you can be shattered one day and still stand tall the next, not because it didn't hurt, but because you refuse to let it define you. You've learned to carry pain without letting it consume you, to walk away from what doesn't serve you, and to protect your energy without losing your heart. That balance between compassion and self-preservation is what makes your strength so rare. You've been underestimated because of your kindness. People see the way you care, the way you listen, the way you give without keeping score, and they mistake it for weakness. They think empathy means you're easy to manipulate or too soft to handle the real world. What they don't understand is that your empathy isn't a crack in your armor, it's the armor itself. Feeling deeply has forced you to develop a kind of strength most people will never have. You've walked through heartbreak, betrayal, and disappointment, and instead of letting it make you bitter, you've let it make you wiser. You don't just survive pain, you absorb the lesson and keep moving forward. That's why your kindness is so powerful. It's not naive, it's a conscious choice you make every day, knowing exactly how cruel the world can be, and that choice is what makes you unshakable. You've learned to set boundaries without losing your heart. There was a time when you gave endlessly, thinking love and care meant never saying no, but too many times you found yourself drained, taken for granted, or used by people who only saw what they could take from you. Now you understand that protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's survival. You can still care deeply for someone while saying, "This is as far as I can go." You've realized that boundaries don't push the right people away, they filter out the ones who were never meant to stay. You no longer let guilt convince you to overextend yourself, and you've stopped believing that compassion means self-sacrifice. You love with the same depth you always have, but now you love yourself enough to make sure you're not giving pieces of yourself to people who would never do the same for you. Pain has been your greatest teacher. You didn't choose the betrayals, the losses, or the disappointments, but each one left a mark that changed you. At first, those moments felt like they might break you. The weight of them was crushing, and you wondered how you'd ever feel whole again. But with time, you began to see what they had given you. Every heartbreak sharpened your ability to see people for who they truly are. Every loss deepened your gratitude for what you still have. Every disappointment taught you to rely on yourself in ways you never had before. Pain has stripped away illusions and forced you to find strength in places you didn't know existed. You're not stronger because you've avoided hurt. You're stronger because you've faced it head on, felt it fully, and refused to let it turn you into someone you're not. That resilience is something no one can take from you. You can detach without becoming cold. You've learned that protecting yourself doesn't mean shutting your heart down. It means knowing when to step back so you don't lose yourself in someone else's chaos. There was a time when you thought caring meant staying, no matter the cost. Now you understand that you can love someone and still walk away if being close to them is destroying your peace. Detachment for you isn't about apathy, it's about self-preservation. You still feel deeply, you still hope the best for people, and you still wish them well. But you've stopped setting yourself on fire to keep them warm. You can hold compassion in your heart while removing yourself from situations that drain it. That's not coldness, that's wisdom born from experience. The understanding that sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to let go. You absorb emotions, but you don't drown in them anymore. For most of your life, you carried other people's feelings as if they were your own. If someone was sad, you felt a heaviness in your chest. If they were angry, you carried the tension in your body. It was exhausting, and for a long time, you didn't even realize it was happening. You just thought that was what caring looked like. Now you know better. You still pick up on emotions instantly, but you've learned how to separate what belongs to you from what doesn't. You allow yourself to feel, but you don't let those feelings take over your mind or dictate your choices. You process them, understand them, and let them move through you instead of getting stuck inside you. This shift hasn't made you less empathetic. It's made you stronger because you can still connect deeply without losing yourself in the process. You thrive in solitude because it restores you. Time alone used to feel strange, maybe even uncomfortable, because the world teaches you to believe that being surrounded by people is the only way to be happy. But as a Sigma empath, you've discovered the opposite. Your best self emerges when you step away from the noise. Solitude isn't emptiness for you, it's a reset. It's the space where you can hear your own thoughts again, where you can release the weight of other people's emotions, and where you can simply be without performing for anyone. In those quiet moments, you recharge, you gain clarity, and you reconnect with the parts of yourself that get lost in the chaos of daily life. You don't fear being alone. You welcome it because you know that every time you return from that space, you come back stronger, clearer, and even more in control of your energy. You see through manipulation quickly. Your empathy allows you to pick up on the emotions and intentions behind people's words, and your independence means you're not easily swayed by them. You notice the hesitation in someone's voice when they're bending the truth. You catch the shift in their tone when they're trying to guilt trip you. You hear what they're really saying, even when it's wrapped in charm or flattery. And because you've experienced what it's like to be used or taken for granted, you no longer ignore those red flags. You don't confront every manipulator. You don't need to. You simply remove yourself from the situation before they can get a grip on you. Your ability to read people so accurately, combined with the strength to walk away, makes you almost impossible to control. Others might underestimate you because you're kind, but the truth is, you're one of the hardest people to deceive. You choose peace over proving yourself. There was a time when you felt the need to defend your intentions, explain your choices, or fight to be understood. But you've learned that not every battle is worth your energy. Some people aren't looking for truth, they're looking for a reaction. And you refuse to give them that power. Walking away doesn't mean you've lost, it means you've decided your peace is more valuable than being right in someone else's eyes. You know your worth, and you don't need anyone's validation to confirm it. Letting go has become one of your strongest skills because it keeps you from being pulled into pointless conflicts that drain your time and spirit. You'd rather spend your energy building a life you love than trying to change the minds of people committed to misunderstanding you. That choice isn't weakness. It's the clearest sign of self-respect. If any part of this felt like it was describing you, remember, you're not alone in the way you feel. Your empathy is not a weakness. It's a rare strength that's been sharpened by everything you've lived through. You've learned to protect yourself without losing your heart, and that's something to be proud of. If you want a place where that part of you is understood and valued, you're always welcome here. Do you see your empathy as your greatest strength?